Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another exciting week of the Siege of Middenheim, the epic conclusion to the Siege of the Empire Act 2. I'm glad you all could be here today. We've taken a few weeks off, but that's okay. We're back on schedule now, at least for a couple weeks, due to the U.S. holidays that were recently occurring. There are a lot of people that play in the U.S. and need to eat a lot of turkey and get very fat. I'm sure you all can relate at least to some degree. However, most importantly, we are back. We're going to be back for a couple of weeks, and we're hoping to finish out this epic 60-plus episode campaign that we've been running, so that we can start a new one, because one of the most exciting things about Dungeons & Dragons, at least in my opinion, is starting new campaigns. That's always just, like, so great to me, just, like, get to experience new characters, and everybody gets to kind of get out of their comfort zone of their character a little bit. So it's great. That's fantastic. We are running a tad bit behind. We have a few players who are not quite here yet, so I'm going to continue talking just for a moment. I'm going to let everybody know that there's going to be quite a bit of action-y stuff happening. We're assaulting the palace of Anders, so there's going to be quite a bit of switching screens and following different players' perspectives and all that other hilarious fun stuff that we like to do here. So it's gonna be pretty visual. I know that for any of you that watch the content, you understand that a lot of it is not visual, but I will advise all of you that this is actually going to be a pretty visual couple of sessions. We have quite a few scenes to get through that are quite important in the long run. So without further ado, I'll unmute Discord. We'll toss it over to the three players that are here and hopefully make them talk long enough that all the rest of the players show up. So should be good. Let's see what happens when I
other character. He's one of the coolest design characters.
He does have that going for him.
He was also the only person that Vader pretty much addressed personally.
That's also very true.
So it's kind of a thing where you're like, so he's a badass. He knows Vader, and Vader was like in that scene where he like points to Boba Fett. It's like, no disintegration. I'm like, man, this guy's a badass. He disintegrates targets.
I don't think that's that particularly hard with the technology they're working with, but
It's not. But it's like you already think Vader is cool. And the fact that he acknowledges somebody with a kind of like that, you're kind of just like, man, that guy's cool too by
they
association.
have some kind of history.
Yeah. And it just, that's what makes it cool, is that he has history with Darth Vader. It's kind of implied that way, that he's worked for Vader before. And I don't care what, but even back then when I was a kid, I thought Darth Vader was one of the coolest villains ever.
For sure.
He looked cool. I think that just what it all goes back to. When you look cool enough, you stay in people's minds. Boba Fett had the most distinctive look out of all those other bounty hunters.
Out of a lot of characters in general, I would agree.
Yeah. He had a fucking missile on his back, a jetpack. He had a flamethrower on his arm. He had all this cool shit.
I just like the fact that he's not Han Solo, and he's a character that's in more than one episode that has a gun. It makes me excited.
Yeah, that's
a
the thing
fair
too, is
point.
that in a lot of those movies, like, they don't really show. It's more like they're emphasizing the lightsaber fights and all that. But here in all that, you have somebody that's still fucking using a gun, that's using a flamethrower of all things.
Yep.
And he's still a badass with it. Especially when you go into like the legends and stuff about him. It's just very cool.
All the legend stuff is really cool. That doesn't really count.
Yeah, that's true. But and then I remember being disappointed when they retconned the whole thing about how he's a clone of Jango Fett.
Wait, did they really?
Yeah, that's what it was. Like a lot of people were pissed about that because when Clone Army came out, they retconned it so that instead of Boba Fett having his own like stories and all that, all he was a clone of Jango Fett.
Oh, got ya.
Well, I mean, that's what they implied in the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
that
it
he
was-
grew up as Django's son.
Right, exactly. He
Yeah.
was a clone, but he grew up as Django's son.
Mhm. I mean, he didn't really grow up as Django's son because Django died when he was like
He
10.
made it
but
to
whatever.
like 10. That's not bad.
Listen, he fought. That's the thing too.
And then he just had that head to carry around.
Yeah, that's the thing I think a lot of people forget. These people fought fucking Jedis.
I mean,
The
briefly.
fucking still, yeah, but the fucking warriors of the galaxy.
And got decapitated.
Battle monks, let's be
Holy
real.
Fuck, why are you so loud?
Sorry.
Who, me or
No. Discord does that thing sometimes where like if we don't meet for a while, it's just like everybody needs to be the loudest possible volume of all time, even though I have all your volumes set manually.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
I'm at the lowest possible, right?
no, actually you're higher. It's actually, believe it or not, Liam is the highest or the lowest.
Really? I thought my
His-
lap voice would get me top. Dylan.
It just means his mic is the best.
It's true. Very true.
It was a gift from my my local group, so it's pretty
mean-
decent headset.
I mean, I have a decent headset. The fact that I had to put my entire sound system at only 7%, or else I hurt my ears.
True.
It's something.
That was one of
But
the strangest things, going from a shitty $1.50 headset to like a decent set of headphones. Is that God,
Chris.
everything was so loud.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what was weird was I remember starting out, I thought you sounded completely different than how you do now.
Well, I did. I used a Walmart microphone for almost the entire first
Arc.
almost the entire first arc until I got my desktop mic, or my really good mic, my $100 microphone.
Yeah,
So-
man.
It's true.
Is it just my internet, or is Jordan going really robot-y?
Yours.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
yeah.
Oof. Thank God. Don't stress me out with that stuff, man. Really, I'm just stalling for time because I confirmed that both other parties will be here, just maybe a little bit late.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a
So-
second. I might disconnect for a second, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I will be back.
We will go around the table slowly while those other parties catch up.
Good, because I got a lot of shit to talk about.
All right, well then we'll start with you then,
All right.
Dalton. Why don't you
Yeah,
tell us
sure.
how you're? We've had 2 weeks off, so that means there's been 3 weeks of drama to talk about. So
Yeah.
I'm back.
good,
Okay.
just in time for the drama. And also, as a prerequisite for those of you that celebrate, I want to hear about everybody's Turkey Day.
Okay. So what do you want to hear first? Turkey Day or drama?
Whatever you want, Dalton. This is your moment.
All right, fine. I'll hit you with the drama first.
Good.
So,
Perfect.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but I've been living in a new place, things of that sort, for the past couple of weeks and things of that sort. And just, I don't know, like 2-3 days ago, I was staying at this place with my mother, who decided, by the way, I'm just going to move to South Carolina now and leave you here. Bye. So I have that to deal with.
Good.
So,
Good.
Good God.
yeah. And
Make
I
some
also
friends and find a roommate real quick.
You see, that's the thing. All my roommates, well, all my friends that I had in real life, they went off to the military, pretty much. Like 95% went off to the military, and those that didn't already have places such as, a life and, girlfriends of their own and things of that sort. So I don't really have anyone. So there's that. And she ran off to South Carolina with a ex that was not the greatest of people. So that is fun.
You can't teach lessons to some people,
Oh no, especially when drugs are involved. So
especially when drugs are involved. Yes.
Yeah. And not like the let's like weak drugs. No, I meant like hard drugs. So it's gonna be fun. So that's fun. I'm dealing with that. Trying to find a new place. Found out that apparently, uh, one needs to make a certain amount just to find a place. So that's fun for a lot of the places I live. So I got that going for me. And by going for me, I mean not really, because it's about half of what I actually make. Or double rather than what I
Yeah.
make. So
Yeah, a lot of places are income capped because they want you to be able to pay and not have to evict you, right? It's kind of why they do that kind of thing.
well, I suppose, but it's like if someone actually prioritizes and not be a fucking shitwit, they can actually do it with a low income.
Well, yeah,
But,
of course.
people are, are fucking awful people and just not think about that thing.
Yeah, so like the general rule of thumb is your housing should constitute for 30% of your income.
Yeah.
So that's typically what companies will use to kind of base their facts on. As most of us, I'm sure, know, we spend way more than 30% of our income on housing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I have been trying to find a new place because the place that I'm staying at, they're like, oh yeah, it'd be great if you could leave by the holidays. So, and yeah, so I'm kind of like, oh, okay. So, and yeah, so I'm dealing with a whole bunch of that shit. So, and with the whole new, I just transferred to a new job location and things of that sort. It's been dealing with that, which, this new job location I'm working at, it's essentially the same job, but I do more work for the same amount of pay. So not only am I feeling shittier after coming home from work, I note it is a longer walk because I still don't have a license or a car because I can't afford one. So I got that going for me. It just takes up more time for me just to work.
Well, you know what you do
And,
have? Dungeons and
I got money.
Dragons.
Oh,
That's-
that too.
That's what you do have.
And by money, I mean no, not really. I mean, I have a little bit saved up, but it's like not enough type of deal. So,
Wow.
but I got that going.
How was Turkey Day?
Well, Turkey Day, was I worked the Wednesday night, into Turkey Day, so I got off work at like 6:30 and then got home at 7. So I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to be able to sleep because by the time I'm able to sleep, it's going to be around the time that I have to leave for my relative's house. So I just decided to just stay up. So I went there, tired as shit, and saw the usual extended family. The aunts, uncles, my one side of grandparents. And we all ate dinner and things of that sort. Which I want to say, like, just as a like an actual question for us Americans, how early do you guys eat Thanksgiving dinner?
We have lunch instead of dinner.
Yeah, like you eat it at like noon to like early evening ish.
Yeah, like when I was at a point in my life where I actually had Thanksgiving, like 2:00, 2 to 4 would be the time that we ate.
About I'd say 12 to 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay. Because we eat it at like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I was like, I feel like this is early. I don't know if this is like.
Yeah, it's always super early because like you got to get through like 7 courses and then like 3 different desserts. You got to pace yourself for like a couple hours.
We just do one big one and then we do dessert. But the thing is, it's kind of like more of like a buffet type of thing. We just get whatever we fucking want to eat, and we want more, we just get more, type of thing. So, and normally all of us just stuff our fat faces, and to the point of breaking our pants and things of that sort. And then we eat dessert afterwards. So that's always fun. The dessert though is always fucking. I don't understand like how some of my relatives come up with these fucking desserts because they're like, they're like it comes from the heavens and things of that sort. It's so good.
You have Oreo balls?
Wait, what?
Oreo balls.
No, but essentially we have Oreo yum yum pudding. It's so good.
Oreo, a common staple in many Thanksgiving dishes.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's pretty much how my Thanksgiving went. I'm trying to remember if there was any like specific thing that happened during Thanksgiving, like interesting. I mean, I guess this Thanksgiving I had my brother's mother-in-law come to visit and things of that sort. So that was interesting and things of that sort.
Okay, that's good. Moving right along, Jackson. Hello.
Hey,
How have you been?
I've been interesting.
Normal.
Elaborate, please.
So, you guys know I'm heading to India for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I will be staying in London for 2 years for my new job.
Talk to Will.
And yeah, so I'm gonna need to do all that. I'm gonna need to get an apartment. I'm sorry, flat. I'm gonna need to British from Will. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to get my master's online and all that, and that came out during Thanksgiving. My mom acted like I fucking betrayed her.
What?
She's like, "You think you're too good for the rest of us?" She was drinking because we all do. Think you're fucking better than us? You shit.
Oh my.
Sweet.
Less spiteful words. And all that. My grandma, she was like, "You're already gonna get stabbed in India. Now you're gonna get raped in London." All that, and then lots of other stuff. But that's all. Doesn't matter at all, because you know why? Sabrina the Teenage Witch is getting a 2-season premiere on Netflix.
Fantastic.
That's all I wanted out of life.
Only good for Salem.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to get into Magic the Gathering. Don't know how yet.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about that today.
Like just in general, like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Oh man. Good luck, buddy. You're gonna
Today I put into an order for 300 land cards for about $12 on Amazon.
What?
Fuck yeah, I go all in. Yeah. What else? Anything else? I think I'm probably gonna get a scar on the back of my head because I got a bottle thrown at me during Thanksgiving. Typical Thanksgiving for us, anyways. Yeah, so normal.
Cool. Good. Sounds great. Fantastic. Can I get a wheel check, please? Anyone? Can we get a check? I'd appreciate that. Brian, hello.
Hi.
Brian, tell us all about how you've been the past couple of weeks, including your Turkey Day.
My Turkey Day was great. I was with my girlfriend's family, and we went out to eat, which was weird.
God, you're one
delicious.
of those people.
No, that's the first time I've ever done it in my life. It was strange. It was weird. But whatever. That was my Thanksgiving. It was pretty easy, nice. I didn't really have to deal with a whole lot of people, so there's that. Aside from that, I've had a very happily boring 2 weeks of video games and work and then more video games.
Aren't you fucking special?
What kinds of
I
video games?
feel like it in this group.
Yeah.
What video games have you been playing?
So I played some For Honor, played some Dot Hack. I'm getting back into KOTOR because I saw a Let's Play of it on YouTube pop up, and I'm like, shit, now I gotta play that again. I bought Escape from Tarkov, but I haven't actually gotten around to playing it because I have too many other games to play. Yeah, lots of games. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Minus
It
the whole
is.
going out to dinner for Thanksgiving. That's
Yeah. I don't
hideous.
want to do that again.
Those poor service employees.
That's what I think.
Oh yeah, Black Friday was awesome.
Did you get anything for Black Friday, Jackson?
Got a bunch of games. I dropped kick an old lady. It was fun.
Liam, hello.
Hi.
Can you bring us back, please? I'd appreciate that.
No.
How have you been? What's been going on in your life?
See, the more I hear, like, we have Canadian Thanksgiving. It's in October.
Right, it's in
and-
October. It's a month before.
Yeah,
You heathens.
but at the same time, the more I hear of like Americans talking about American Thanksgiving, I realize that we might use the same name, but we do not have the same holiday.
Yeah,
Do
that
you
sounds
not get
about right.
Do you not get mortally wounded on that day?
No,
Okay,
I
that-
help my
that's
dad
just
make
you,
stuffing
Jackson.
based on the Simon and Garfunkel song, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. And yeah, it's a large but fairly ordinary non-7-course meal. There is turkey. There's not a whole lot else to be
See-
said about it. Admittedly, I mean that's
My
if I
Thanksgiving
am.
sounds a lot like yours then, because it isn't a 7-course meal. It's just there's just a lot of food. You take what you want. You eat
Right, but
one
I've also
meal.
learned the difference between what Americans think a lot of food is and what everyone else thinks a lot of food is.
True.
True. True.
If you don't have a fucking 14-pound turkey on that table, you need to get out.
That seems unnecessary to me.
Well, normally there's about 20 people for my household, so like a 20-pound turkey.
Yeah, that
actually
is not an experience that I've had either. I think the largest
One of,
Thanksgiving meal we've had was maybe 8 people.
Oh,
Wow,
jeez.
that's really small.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, one
Exactly.
of my family members brought a 20-piece KFC chicken bucket.
Fair. That's a fair thing to bring to Thanksgiving.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, Thanksgiving
Oh.
is typically, I think, traditionally like the entire family gets together, including all of like it's basically a family reunion, but then also everybody brings something or helps make something.
Yeah.
So the larger the amount of people that you have, the more food that you then have. It's not
Yeah,
uncommon to
thing
have
is-
like 6
that's-
pies at a traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, the thing is, like,
Yeah.
for my Thanksgiving, it's just anyone from my grandparents down. So that's just one set because my grandfather has 9 other siblings. So if it was the entire family, God, we take up like a whole fucking. There'd be like 60,
Yeah, my
70
dad
people.
was an only child.
My grandparent was the exact opposite. He had
Mm.
9 siblings, and only one of them is currently dead. So there's that.
Currently? Wait,
Yeah.
currently? Might that change?
You never know.
Yeah, like
You
within the
never
last
know.
within the last few months. I think one of the youngest actually died for some. I forget, it was like, I think it was like heart failure or something. But
I was just going for the necromancy joke, man. I was just
Mhm.
being like, what do you mean
Yeah.
currently dead?
Yeah. Well, as for me, we get normally
No.
about 60 people.
yeah, that sounds like a
We do not
too
have
many
American
people.
Thanksgiving here.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that
no,
just sounds
I-
like
for
difference
the
in
day.
family.
I think the smallest Thanksgiving I've ever had was like 12 people, maybe.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Mhm.
what are you from? Like a convent?
It's like the smallest Thanksgiving I've ever had. And then the largest being probably close to 30 people.
I still double you. Yeah. Probably not. Yeah. 'cause
This is why you get bottles thrown at your head, Jackson.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Wow.
It hurts. They don't break.
Yeah,
Any-
I don't think it's.
Anything else, Liam?
I have travel plans for visiting friends and family for the holidays, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I got the chance to play Blades in the Dark this week, which is definitely very cool.
It's a fun game.
If you've got the chance to play it, give it a shot.
Megan and I and Will have played in the game for about
Nice.
5 or 6 sessions. I can't remember.
Nice.
And
This
it
is
was, yeah, a
also
lot
one of
fun.
my friend's first intros to GMing. I now have the pride of being the person who introduced a bunch of the people in my social circle to RPGs, and now they're running their own games.
Perfect. Yeah, it feels like a really easy game to run because it's all kind of it's very systematic. Like there's very clear paths to do things. Like this is how this works. This is how this works. This is how this works. It's not very. It is open ended in like how you can approach different things, but like downtime is all written down for you. You don't have to like.
Also, the way they work flashbacks into it.
Right. Yeah, where you don't have to like have planning. You just go into it, and then you can the players can retroactively make something happen. I feel like the hardest burden on the GM for that game is simply just like knowing the world well enough to come up with convincing scenarios that occur.
Also coming up with bargains on the fly depending on who you are. But
Sure, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's my deal at the moment.
Fantastic.
Not nearly as dramatic as anything American, I'm afraid.
Well, you know, we'll keep the tragedy up. You keep the typical Canadian niceties up, and we'll be.
Americans tend
good.
to bottle up their feelings, especially families, and then
throw them at your head.
You know what? I was wondering if I should tell that.
You set yourself up
And
for that.
now
one,
you're
like
regretting it.
Yeah, no, all right, just
I
one
don't know if
fucking
that's a
bottle.
setup.
Just-
I kind of feel like that's just, he told us about something traumatic, and now you decided it's just.
No, this isn't the first time, so it's not really traumatic. But
Again,
first
disagree.
the first one when I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah,
But, you know,
seems
What
fair.
the fuck?
See, that's not normal Americans. That's
Well, hold on.
depends on the area. I'll say that.
We have to consider Jackson's from Arkansas, so
Arkansas.
that probably is pretty typical.
No, this happens in Missouri.
Again, there's literally no difference between those two states.
There is a huge difference. There is a
Nope.
huge
Nope.
difference.
Nope.
Negative.
Huge.
Nope. Not true.
Yes, there is.
Megan, hello.
Hi, hello.
How are you? Have your 3 weeks been?
Nelly is from St. Louis.
Good lord. I'm well. My turkey day was good. It was perfectly normal. Nothing weird happened, and I didn't get bottles thrown at my head. We had 2 turkeys, which was fun. We deep fried one of them, and it was delicious.
There we go. Still American.
And then we did the other one traditionally. So that was fun to try. And we start at 4. So I don't know what you all do. We're starting at noon and 1. I don't know. It's Thanksgiving dinner. You eat at dinner time, but whatever. That's fine.
Well, hold on.
Listen,
Do you
we're already
listen?
past by
Do
4
you
o'clock.
start cooking or like setting things up at 4, or do you like you're sitting down and eating at 4?
People start showing up at 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, then that's late. I feel.
Yeah, the thing is, like, some of my family
People have been
members-
cooking like all day, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
people like officially kind of start coming
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
at 4.
that
is, like,
that
some of
does
my
feel
relatives
late then
are, like,
for sure.
from different states, so we kind of eat early, so people who, when they leave at 5 or 6 o'clock, they get home at 9 o'clock.
Sure, and a lot of people, like nearly my entire family lives within 40 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, like most of mine does, but like there are some relatives, like a couple of my aunts and things where they live like 3 hours away. So,
Mm.
but anyways, sorry for hijacking again.
No, it's fine.
You should be ashamed.
And I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot else to share. I had parent-teacher conferences today, which is why I was late, and I apologize. But that was
I bet it was
oodles
a joy.
of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just spend most of those judging the parents, because I feel like that's what I would do.
Oh, the judgment is real, for
Yeah.
sure. Unfortunately, it's on both ends though, because you just feel like you're being judged and under, a spotlight the entire time as well.
Mm.
But it's like the worst one of the worst parts of my job. I'll just put it that way. I mean, it's a necessary part, but the way my job does it is it's a half day, and we start these at noon. We start meetings at noon, and I literally just got home a few minutes ago, and I've been doing parent-teacher conferences the entire time, like no breaks, not a single break the entire time, back to back to back. So that's been just super fun. I'm just really excited I have something fun to do now, and don't have to think about that anymore. So there you go.
Indeed.
Right? It's great. Great
Mhm.
having something fun to do.
Why are your Thanksgiving so peaceful?
Again, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So
Because I live in Massachusetts, and that's where the people who are most like Canadians live.
True. Fair.
Okay,
Wait.
rude.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the reaction.
Amazing. So let's see.
missed
I
this.
guess that makes it my turn for a few minutes.
suppose.
I am officially your older.
Yay!
Well done.
Since we last met, I survived. I received a belated birthday present today. Someone decided to send me about 6 to 10 pounds of sweet tarts.
Oh, I'm
So
jealous.
that's great, except I'm pretty sure that they want my teeth to literally rot out of my head. But
You just have to eat them fast. What matters is how long the sugar is in your mouth.
fair.
Small price to pay, for goodness.
Yeah, just swallow them whole. Right? That's just like entire packets.
Basically,
whole.
yeah.
Don't let them touch your teeth. Just keep them on your tongue.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Sounds good. Now I have tactics. Great.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
Always.
Besides that, I've been back at work for about a week now, off my vacation, is meh. My turkey day was literally nothing. I slept all day during turkey day. I didn't eat any food. I think I had some ramen. But the next day, which was the 24th, Black Friday, I had a wedding to go to for one of my players in my Stars Outnumbered game, and also one of my really close friends. And we went to, it was down in Miami, so I had to wake up in the morning. I had to drive down to Miami. We did the whole wedding all the way up until about 11:30 when I drove back to Orlando, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. So I was very tired by the time I got home, but I made it safely. Was the important part. But it was a beautiful wedding, absolutely gorgeous. They did a hell of a job, and honestly, I have yet to encounter better wedding food. Like, they had sushi and Italian food and lamb skewers and like just a ridiculous like smorgasbord of food. Like 4 different types of salads and just crazy. I've never seen anything like it at a wedding before, so that was really nice. They had like a chocolate fondue fountain and a bunch of like fruit plates. So that was really cool. There was an open bar, which is obviously nice. I didn't partake too much because I knew I had to drive back. But it was a good time. And besides that, I spent the next day basically sleeping all day because then very next day I had to go into work for the first time, which was fine, and work was work, and it took me 0 amount of time to get back into the groove. But yesterday I looked at my pay stub and I realized they didn't pay me for the holiday because I was on vacation all week, even though they're supposed to because I'm full-time. So it's really annoying that I didn't get the holiday pay, so I had to submit a correction through one of my management team today to hopefully get that fixed, because I was really looking forward to that like extra $300 on my paycheck. It was gonna be spending monies, because I have a bunch of Christmas to deal with now, upcoming. So it'd be
Christmas for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's Christmas for you, Dalton. I'm literally, you're getting presents.
Buy me a house
in
and
the
I'm
mail.
good.
Yeah.
Just buy me.
Yeah. With what money exactly? Let me buy myself a house and then I'll buy you a house. How's that sound? Go make me famous on Twitch so I can make millions of dollars and then we'll be fine.
Speaking of which, what is the thing you're talking about?
Which
that you're
granted.
giving us?
So I hit a particular milestone where I will I will receive the first like paycheck, quote unquote,
Ooh.
from Twitch. So not until February, of course.
Quote unquote.
Yay.
Yeah, because they're not really paychecks, right? They're just giving you your money that you've earned already. They basically just hold it until a certain threshold is met, and once that threshold is met, they can release it to you. It actually specifically has to do with the way the taxes work in the United States. They release it to you after you hit a certain threshold where it becomes taxable. Because if they didn't, then you could, if you just collected smaller amounts constantly, you could basically not have them taxed, which is not good for anyone. And it's a liability on them. So there you go. But I'm excited about this tax season. I've made quite a bit of money at work this year, so paid a lot of taxes, and I'm excited to get most of that back. Not all of it.
Yeah. I'm excited for that too.
So that is going to be incredible. But we wasted 40 minutes waiting for Will, even though I literally spoke with him earlier today and asked him why he hated us and never talked in general. And that was immediately before he started talking in general chat, in case you all missed that part. He was feeling guilty. But apparently, he decided not to wake up. That's fine. I will play the part of Farron, which should be fairly easy because, as I recall, he's basically the only person that's like gonna be on the front lines of the battle. So like it might just be easier just to ignore that whole part and also progress things much quicker because we have to do some catch up before we really get into the nitty-gritty here. Jackson, did you have something?
Yeah, Jordan, I might actually give you my international number when I go to India in case you need to wake me up.
So that's probably a good idea. I will probably need that at some point.
Yeah.
But without further ado, I'm glad I haven't said this yet, but thank you all for reappearing. I know that that's weird to say, but as we all know, breaks in games can cause them to die really quick. And for now, 3 years or 2 years? This is the second year, going on the third year. We have not been defeated by the holidays, or at least the first part of them. So thank you all for that. Appreciate that. But enough of that sappy stuff. Let's talk about how we're not going to get killed infiltrating / assaulting the palace. So a quick recap for everyone. Right. A quick recap for everyone. There were a bunch of simultaneous things occurring. I bring you all to this map to just give you a brief overview of what's going on. Essentially, you all are on the final push. Your goal from here is essentially to get into the palace, kill / capture Anders, and win. That's basically the whole deal. Everything else beyond that, like routing the demon host of army and finding that dragon that flew away, maybe that'll come up, who knows. All of that happens maybe after this initial scene, but I kind of want to make this the big gigantic, and by gigantic I really truly mean gigantic. I let slip to one player today that I have 5 separate maps for this particular set piece. So when I say gigantic, it's going to be big and huge, and it's going to be I hope that it is quite rewarding and epic when you all make it all the way through and everything happens the way that we all envisioned it for the ending. But there's some minor things that we need to handle before then. Last session was a lot of preparation, I would say, for this upcoming push. It was determining what everyone's job is going to be during this. And essentially what was determined is that everyone, with the exception of Ayland and Farron, were going to be in the infiltration team. You were going to come down off of the palace walls on the backside here, and you were going to like rappel down. You were going to infiltrate the palace from that direction, and you were going to see what kind of disruption you could cause. With some specific goals in mind, we had a successful scrying on the White Wolf, right? We found out the Count of Middenheim lives, which is an interesting thing that I think that kind of came about because of the fact that it would be pretty traditional for that person to be displayed quite prominently as being dead, but it's very clear that that is not a thing heard. So, with that being said, there was the thought of perhaps making a rescue effort prior to breaking into the palace. And based on what we know is that there is like a cellar that's been turned into a dungeon that's underneath the palace. So finding an entrance into that was kind of the priority of the infiltration team to start, followed immediately by, coinciding with the assaults, maybe trying to march your way through the various floors and hallways and all kinds of nastiness that may await you inside of the palace itself. So, that being said, does anyone have any questions, or do you think that I've missed anything in the description of what's happening here? Good. That's the ice cream truck, just in case anyone was curious. You can hear it outside.
Wow.
If you can hear it on my microphone, which you will be soon, because it'll roll past my window, but there's an ice cream truck that comes by around this time every single day.
Shit, where?
In December.
It's Florida, and it was 100 degrees yesterday. So
This was my reaction.
yeah, hold on. I'll send you the picture that I sent to a couple people. Here, this was my life yesterday. Look at this beautiful, lovely dashboard. It was
beautiful.
100 degrees yesterday, so
Yep.
Disgusting.
ice cream's still totally valid.
Fair enough.
Although it was 63 this morning, it was actually beautiful out. It got up to 85, but it was 63 this morning.
Yeah, I know.
63 sounds fine. Anything above 80 is not fine.
I'm so surprised. Like, it's like 57 right now, and it's not normally that cold.
Mm-hmm. Well, that means you have the front because you live more north of me, and then it'll hit me. And here's the deal with Florida: it's below freezing for like 3 days, and then it's 100. That's like the Florida winters.
You have a single jacket that you wear for 4 days.
Actually, no. I have quite. In fact, I've had this conversation recently. I have quite a few jackets. I have about 5 jackets of varying thicknesses, and I have an actual like winter jacket that I've never worn in Florida, but I own it just in case.
Huh. I have 2.
I have
One
0.
when it starts getting a little chilly. The other one is, oh, hey, it's like 10 degrees out.
Here's the
All
thing
right,
that
let's put on an actual jacket.
here's the thing that people don't understand. Florida is AC'd all year round. So like
Yeah.
we still have very good use for jackets because typically you want the AC to be cold. And sometimes it's too cold for you and not cold enough for other people, especially in like an office environment. So yeah. Sometimes you have to bring a jacket with you.
No, I get that.
I wore one today at work actually. I wore a hoodie inside. But there you go. Because naturally, I think everybody's aware of this. AC is like way colder than regular air for whatever reason.
Well, it's just concentrated cold air.
Yeah.
As opposed to having like sunlight and things of that sort.
Right. Exactly.
Affect it. So.
Anyway, back to Dungeons and Dragons. I'm really just trying to stall for Will to show up again.
I have 0 coats.
I mean, I
because
think
I'm
he's
not a
gonna
pussy.
appear at 8 o'clock. So.
Yeah, right around 8. That seems correct. So as you all are arranging this, there was Farron was going to stick with his bear riders. He was determined to see them through to the end. And Aelin, on the other hand, found herself in a situation in which she felt she needed to confront a task all by herself, which, as we all know, in the game of role-playing games, is usually not the best idea. But this is a very personal mission for Aelin as a character. It is something that perhaps she should confront alone and deal with in some way. So
Why would you lie to her like that?
Listen, she made that choice, not me.
You don't have to validate it.
Well, I will let the remainder of the party try to convince her otherwise. Although that's probably too late. To be completely fair, I think that not only has Aelin already departed, but the group of you have already been told that she's like gonna be okay with the army, right? So you think that will be interesting to see how that plays out. But first, I want to jump into it because we've already wasted 50 minutes basically on nothing, which was anticipated because this is the first session back. But I do want to jump into it here.
There was one thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to cast a spell into my into my thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then take a short rest so you can get your spells back, because that's the thing I will remind you. Like once you guys start, it's probably you're not gonna have time to rest for long, and short rest may not be an option either. In fact, probably won't be an option. It'll be pretty constant. So any last minute preparations that anybody has been thinking of or is considering or needs to do, they need to be done right now, like within the next couple of minutes before we really get into the scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Blight into my rod.
Okay, so you have an extra stored Blight.
Also, would I be able to roll Arcana for my item?
I think you already did that during the long rest.
Did I?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got you criticaled it, and I gave you 2 successes. I remember that very distinctly.
That sounds right to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other last minute preparations besides what the people are carrying on them, what they may need in the future, etc. Okay, good. So I think that the first scene of the game we see is the sun is setting, because you guys want to do this at nighttime so that you have the best available chance at getting in at least undetected, or at least before shit starts to go downhill, you're not exposed in the open. So as the group of you, we see the group of you, and by the group of you I mean there are. Let's go ahead and just move everybody over there so we can get a good idea of who's there. So, by the group of you, we have Kree, because you're over there, right, Kree?
Yeah, and Noct.
Kree and Snoct.
New Noct.
New Noct.
Yeah,
He's still Noct to me.
It's Kree and Snoct.
I'm changing it now. I hope you know.
Jericho. Rella. Cool. And as far as NPCs in tow, I know that Silny is there.
I'm taking the monk and Daniela. I think we convinced Daniela.
Yes, you did. Daniela is there.
I
think that
the monk is coming.
Have the monk guy. Let me get. Oops, sorry. Let me get his.
I am not bringing John this time because he was useless last time and just a liability.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I know, right?
After all those minutes you put in training him.
Wait, actually,
those moments, single moments you put.
I want to know something.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that big ass fight. He should have leveled up like 4 times.
I'm not sure you know how that works. All right, we have a monk character. Cool.
The anime dude.
Yeah, there you go. So I think that is basically the crew, right? That's the crew as it was. because you needed to be much smaller. It's not like you were gonna sneak 60 people over there again this time, right? It's a little bit hard to make that work. However, I think that just to start right into it, what I'm gonna need from the group is just a series of stealth checks, simply to make sure that no one sounds the alarm before the army actually attacks, because that will obviously cause some issues. So why doesn't everybody who's involved with this whole mission here use stealth? Now I'm gonna take the average so that characters with higher stealth can help out characters with lower stealth in this scenario, because that's only fair. Only fair to do that.
All right, I'm going to actually bust out Tides of Chaos for this.
Cool, already. Sounds great.
Very serious question. Should I, Noct, or both of us make this?
I would say that if you're writing, Noct. If you're not, both of you. You can decide that.
So
I don't know if you trust Noct to like carry you down safely, but maybe you do.
I would, but being in the cramped confines, I'd be off because it would be too. Yeah.
So probably both of you.
All right, rolling it.
Oh, nice. Kree's got a high roll here.
We're rolling stealth. Is that right?
Yeah, stealth. Nice.
Go Snocked. Go
Yeah.
Snocked.
All right.
Knocked for the win. Well, Morella, it's a good thing your buddies help you out, because I think you have disadvantage on that, don't you?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Do you have a...
I have the feat, medium armor master. It doesn't give me
Gotcha.
disadvantage on medium armor
Alright, roll
stealth checks.
for-
But I'm not proficient in it, and I also didn't roll the greatest. But it's whatever. I'm stealthier than people would expect me to be in such actually heavily
Holy
armored.
cow. These people
Yeah,
all
that-
rolled tremendously.
That monk better have amazing stealth. That would be amazing.
He just rolled the 20, yeah.
Oh, that was him? Okay.
The monk? Did I miss that?
The monk is the anime storm dude. Like,
Yeah, I definitely missed that part.
I don't
I
think
feel
you were
like
there for it, actually.
Yeah,
what I mean.
Yeah, so
That's
he...
what I mean by missed.
Yeah, Hannibal had gone to see if there were any other like representatives of any other circles of magic, and he'd run into like this enthusiastic monk who probably wasn't suited for the last mission, but is more suited for this mission, seeing as it's you're walking into a fight. It's not really infiltration. So
Yeah, I thought this guy would immediately go in guns blazing. So
yeah, so the average being an 18 is, or a 19 even, is pretty good. You guys successfully pass the necessary number to sneak in and at least get on the palace grounds without being detected. So let me or so from the grounds you can see that there's this inner wall here is solid, but there's a couple of gates at a couple of different points. And you guys have descended kind of on the inside of this. And while you're still hidden, you can see that there are a couple of things that you can see. So you're looking at the building, and the palace itself is probably about 4 stories tall. With even like a higher roof. So it looks like it's 4 stories, but it has like a higher roof on it. Now, as you look at the back of it, on both the 4th level balcony on the top left corner and top right corner. Okay, so there's a balcony that's up there. It's kind of open air. That leads into what you assume is like living accommodations or something. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyone who would like to can make me a perception check, and I'll tell you what you see in the general vicinity. Because along the back wall it's pretty nondescript. There's a set of stairs that look like they go up to the 2nd level from the outside. There's a set of stairs that look like they go underground, and then there's a small set of stairs that kind of lead up to the 1st level.
okay. First one's me, second one's Dane.
Okay. Totally fair.
That one's me, and this one is Dane.
Yeah, I mean, Kree rolled that 26, so he's probably going to see everything and can pass along the message. But Morella, Hannibal, you are distracted by something, certainly. Morella, however, you're pretty perceptive in this moment, so I'll give you a bit of different information. Yeah, you've noticed that there's other people with you. Congratulations.
How'd you get here?
So Kree, your eyes drift around and you see that the palace is itself, even from this vision, pretty unassailable. The walls are smooth marble and almost completely impassable, even for Noct. Noct would even struggle, like, digging in through the stone to get handholds. But practically impossible doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it may take a while or it may be a little bit harder to do. But I think that the major thing that you noticed is up on those balconies that I talked about, on the top left corner and the top right corner that are on the back side of the building, which is the side that you're on, there appear to be these... I'm going to describe to you as a player what they are, but I don't know if you as a character would understand this. But they look like machines or like devices that have been built up, and they kind of look like... I think that you as a character would probably describe them most accurately as... They kind of look like totems. But you can tell because of the glint of the reflection of some torchlight and like the moonlight that's shining down on them, they appear metal. But they almost look like totem poles or something strange, but they appear metal. And there's one kind of on each of the balconies. You can also see that through like the torchlight that's inside both the fourth and the third level, you can see that there are shadows that are passing by the windows. A lot of shadows. There's a lot of people inside of this building, as it were. For you, Morella, I think that your vision is much more fixated on the entrances. So directly in front of you, there appear to be 3 staircases, like I said. One appears to go up to the second level. One appears to go down, like maybe into a cellar or maybe underneath the palace. And one appears to be like a shorter set of staircases that leads onto the first floor, where arguably like you would be an entrance there. But specifically because you got an 18, and that's a pretty good roll, you see that there appear to be a couple of guards standing outside of that particular door that leads onto the first level.
Okay.
And since that staircase kind of faces the middle staircase and that leads downwards, it'd be pretty impossible to like sneak by and get in there.
You'd have to take out the guards if you wanted to go to the cellar.
Yeah, at least unnoticed, right? I mean, you could go down in there no matter what, but in order to do so unnoticed, you'd probably have to take them out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they basically stare directly down the staircase, directly at the entrance that goes underground.
Mm-hmm. Then I'd probably relay that then to them.
Okay, so our priority at the moment, at least, is to make sure that the White Wolf lives.
Yes.
So we need to take out those guards very stealthily. I can launch a big hit from behind them. Can anybody else do damage in a single attack?
So, how far away are these guys?
They're probably about 60 feet, 60 to 100 feet in front of you.
Sorry, real quick. How many are there?
There just appears to be 2 that are standing like right outside this little doorway.
And they're not like, oh hey, let me just be a specialized guard unit. They're more like just
they look like guardsmen. You know, they look as close to like town guardsmen as you could get.
What race are they?
They're humans, both of them.
They're humans? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I actually send Dane real quick to Invisible?
Yeah.
Get a closer look at them?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna actually go up to Jericho and point out these totem-looking things and ask him if he knows anything about them.
I don't imagine that he does, but I'm open to